Good morning, everybody. Welcome back for installment of Scott's Selections here for Sunday, December 18th. For again today's play of the day, quick recap what happened yesterday. We had a nice easy winner in college football with Fresno State -4 and -110 on DraftKings. Really never in doubt. Fresno State dominated from start to finish, led 16 to nothing at the half, and won the game by 20 plus. Thought Washington State would struggle, missing a bunch of wide receivers, linebackers, and some coaches, and they looked like they didn't want to be there. I believe they had 59 yards of offense in the entire first half. And Fresno State really just coasted. So never in doubt, look for another winner here on Sunday. And for today's play of the day, going to pivot to the NFL, look at a matchup between the Bengals and the Buccaneers, taking place at around 4 p.m. Eastern Time. And for this matchup, we're going to take a player prop in this one. We're going to take Tom Brady over 40.5 pass attempts at -120 on FanDuel. Time recording of 2:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Couple reasons why I like the over in this spot. First reason, looking at the last couple of games, Brady has needed to attempt a bunch of passes quite often. Brady has attempted at least 44 passes in 6 of the last 7 games. And to go back even further, Brady has attempted at least 42 passes in 9 of the last 11 games. So a couple reasons why Brady's needed to throw a bunch of passes in virtually every game. First reason, Tampa, not very good. They're trailing a lot in the second half of games. They need to play catch up, and as a result, Brady has to throw a lot because they abandon the run. We've seen in the last couple of weeks, and it might happen again because Cincinnati has been one of the hottest teams in the league. We know how many weapons they have with the likes of Higgins, with Chase, with Mixon, and with, of course, Burrow at quarterback. There is a chance Tampa gets absolutely smacked, and they need to really chase in the second half, kind of like what we saw last week against the Niners. Or you could have the other reason, which is the fact that the Buccaneers are really, really bad at running the ball. And the Buccaneers are currently averaging 72.9 rushing yards per game, which is the fewest in the entire league. And Cincinnati is good at stopping the run. Bengals are allowing just 111 rushing yards per game, which ranks 10th. So the Buccaneers have really just been useless when it comes to using the ground game. And as a result, they've had a pretty unbalanced offensive attack where Brady has to throw the ball 45 times a game. But I do think you'll end up seeing Brady have to attempt a lot of passes, especially with the injuries to Cincinnati secondary and their defensive line. The Bengals will be without their best defensive lineman in Trey Hendrickson. They will be missing cornerback Mike Hilton, and cornerback Jalen Davis is doubtful for this game. So the Bengals might be missing a couple of really key pieces in that pass defense. And I do think as a result, the Buccaneers might automatically start the game just throwing a bunch of passes, trying to test out some unproven commodities in the secondary. But if you want to also look at the weather for this game, I know it's December. We saw a couple of really awful weather games yesterday. But luckily for us, this game is in Tampa Bay, so it's going to be warm. It's going to be in the 60s and 6-mile-per-hour winds, no rain, really no bad conditions at all. So in basically perfect conditions for this time of year, I do think you'll end up seeing Tampa really lean into the passing attack against a banged-up defensive line, a banged-up secondary, and once again, a team that really has to abandon the run often because this rushing attack with Fournette or White, whichever they want to use. Truth is, they kind of alternate, and they both have not been very good. White keeps fumbling the ball in recent weeks. Fournette has kind of been an afterthought in the offense recently. So Tampa doesn't really like the running backs that they currently have, in addition to not having the offensive line to actually block for these running backs. But we know Brady gets rid of the ball quickly. He's going to try to really just move the ball down the field, a bunch of checkdowns. And I'm not worried about the yards. I just want the attempts. So I think that there's a couple ways to get there. In a close game, perhaps, in a blowout with chasing, I think there's a lot of ways to go over. So I'm going to take it. So play that once again here for Sunday, December 18th is going to be on Tom Brady over 40.5 pass attempts at -120 on FanDuel. Bye, everyone.